Good morning. Quite literally, apparently we're lagging. I woke up and now we're making a video. I was actually going to make a video yesterday and upload it while playing TF2, but I decided, actually, despite this second channel it's supposed to be the lower kind of production channel, something like that. I still decided it was too rambly, too low quality to bother uploading, and I don't actually have any idea what I was talking about. So, whilst doing, I would say daily grind, but it hasn't exactly been daily with this game recently for me. Nothing against the game. But, whilst I do a bit of a grind and apparently lag in, just booted the game, sure, why not? I have way too many of these to care about using them. Bababooey. Just doing a normal farm route anyway. So some things have been happening, and there's some main channel content I want to make on it actually. I didn't think I would, but now I think I will. I've been informed by so many people, including the video maker of one of them, that there's a challenger Thresh top player. But saying that on its own is actually factually incorrect at the moment. And we'll get into that because there's many misconceptions. Due to kind of surface level analysis and things like that. You have to look a bit deeper. We'll get into it. First of all, what is this? And who contacted me? The person who contacted me was Happy Chime Noises. You've probably heard of them. Made a nice little video talking about, I believe their name is Addy. I don't know if that's how you say it or whatever. And of course their name is written in Korean normally. I don't know much about them. And I was only informed about them from Chime Noises. He only told me he was making the video and wanted some fresh top perspective. So I did that. It was fun. Now, Addy is playing Thresh top with the same, let's say, build genre that we do, the whole tank bruisery DPS scaling kind of thing. Although we do so many different things, either for content or for fun, that it can be easy to get lost. This is what we want. This here. We want to eat food. Only his build is different to us. So I've been going Grasp of the Undying, Titanic Hydra first as my kind of try-hard go-to Thresh build, right? Let's focus on a different task. Dull Suppression. This one's at lower levels and this is just Dread Enemy. So we'll have to go to lower levels later then. That's fine. Oh, we have to go there anyway. Let's just finish the side tasks. For the XP on this class I'll probably never use, but hey, why not? It's Hunter. Which is the, I guess, a tank kind of class, tanky fighter. Speaking of tanky bruisers. So, whereas we run Grasp with Titanic for a very tanky build and a strong laning phase, strong poke, Addy is going for a more scaling kind of build with Lethal Tempo. Previously, I think, speaking of Lethal Tempo in older videos and other things, I have probably mentioned that I think Lethal Tempo is better for scaling, and that's because Thresh doesn't really have many attack speed options outside of building straight up AD carry. Because items like Blade of the Ruined King are very expensive and not tanky at all, and they will cause you to fall behind a lot of the time, and you will not have a good time, essentially. And by fall behind, I mean you'll get bursted and killed because you're immobile. You only have one method of peel, which is great in a 1v1 up top lane, but can be really bad when ganked or in teamfights or, you know, any kind of group situation. Golden box. Therefore, taking attack speed from your rune is really good because you don't have to waste an item slot, you don't have to waste kind of opportunity cost in gold. You do take opportunity cost in runes, but actually not many runes are amazing on Thresh. There's plenty of just kind of average performing ones in terms of laning phase and in terms of late game. And as far as late game runes go for Thresh, I mean, Lethal Tempo is up there. It's definitely one of the best ones. Perhaps the best one overall, actually. Its early game is not too bad either, although my recent games are very biased towards the Thresher, because I don't know what happened. I mean, I was playing normals with friends, but all of my opponents, like one of my opponents was poor Iron 1 Shen, I'm so sorry. And he went 3 deaths and went AFK, so I am sorry about that. Whoever that Shen might have been, I'm sorry. There was also a poor Silver 4 Gwen who went like 0-7. didn't AFK and did actually try their hardest to actually play the game, but the rest of their team was just blaming them, despite all being lower rank. Yeah, you can see what was happening with my normal games there, so can't wait to get back into some ranked and actually... Well, maybe not ranked, but just, I guess, solo normals to try more fair matchmaking experience with Legal Tempo. And also, the first item that they seem to go a lot of the time, I didn't see specific build orders, but I'm just guessing from match history and frequency, is Wit's End. The Wit's End pick is very good, especially since Season 11 it gained 40 AD, which is actually a reason I didn't take it, even though I did take it back in the day. A reason I wouldn't take it, because it had no AD, and AD is important for the early mid-game to kind of snowball that 200% AD ratio. It has so much value. I've been valuing it so much. As you can see, I build pickaxe first almost every game. And you can still do that with Wit's End, which is wonderful. Where were we? Yeah, and he was even building them against AD opponents, and I need to look into the cost efficiency of Wit's End and its on-hit effect for each level, and chances are, if I make a main channel video about this topic, about the Thresh top, about Addy, I will probably do it. I will get the cost efficiencies up, as I have done before. However, I do find that you are very susceptible, this is in general, you will be susceptible to many kinds of gank, many kinds of burst damage and CC burst damage. Think of like a full AP Malphite as a kind of exaggerated example. Not exactly what you'll be fighting, but something like that. For example, no, Juggernauts. For example, if you get caught by a Mordekaiser E, that's going to be a big hit. So I like Wit's End as a damage item. I'm not sure I would go for it first yet, but we'll look into cost efficiency soon. I do still like the Titanic Hydra option for defense. Really stops you from being bursted, and just like Wit's End, it has a fantastic on-hit effect and fantastic AD. But instead of the attack speed and magic resist, you are getting health and wave clear, which can be also useful situationally, especially as you get into that mid-game section where maybe your team is already starting to win. Maybe that's not a problem for our challenger or grandmaster friend. The next thing we'll talk about very loosely in this video is that they go for Frostfire. And as I'm sure we know, I also tend to go Frostfire, or at least I used to much more often. I started going for Sunfire more recently when Frostfire got nerfed, and it did help me get more kind of 1v1 victories, more DPS, more just kind of drawn out slug fights due to Sunfire's extra damage. Frostfire, however, does have the edge with its mythic passive, giving you even more health, synergizing. I've never known how to say that, and spell checks don't think synergizing is a word, I'm pretty sure, so whatever. We're inventing new language every day. It's Morbin time, Yeah. So synergy has synergy with armor. My graphics card is not enjoying this. I think maybe it's more of a CPU thing. Maybe I need to have yet another CPU upgrade in the next few years of this game, or maybe Sega can stop making a shitty game called Sonic Frontiers and put more budget into this one, because this one's good. Like, Sonic Frontiers looks shit, but that's a tangent for another day. Another video! Aha! And this is from a Sonic fan. So yeah, the armor giving 1% EHP, effective HP. So 1% bonus effective HP per point of armor. And you get 1 point of armor per soul. And you get all this health. Very, very, very tanky against AD opponents. And of course, buying magic resist is going to be really good and round out your tankiness, and you'll be tanky against everything. You pretty much don't need to build armor on Thresh Hop unless the enemy is full AD, where it becomes kind of worth it. Or in case you need grievous wounds like Thorn Mail in solo queue down in low elo, which I guess is anywhere below Challenger, really, depending who you ask. Depending on who you ask. Please don't, thank you. Buying grievous wounds yourself becomes more important rather than relying on teammates. And to do that, you do need the full Thorn Mail to actively apply it to enemies with CC. With just Bramble Vest, the enemy needs to actually attack you, which is something they can avoid doing. And if you're a tank, they are quite likely to do so. Therefore, you could also spend 800 gold on the Executioner's Calling, or even just take Ignite instead of Teleport. Speaking of summoner spells, because we're getting to the end of the core build that Addy uses, although I will quickly mention that one of their best performing games is the one where they had a Titanic Hydra, so I would say I'm a bit of a challenger myself. Haha, that was a joke. But yeah, Titanic Hydra is good. Is someone fighting that? Oh, let's join in. We need red enemy kills anyway. Oh, we hit it just in time to get the XP and the mission. Nice. Let's get more seafood. Speaking of summoner spells, we have always taken Flash, but this player takes Ghost, and apparently that's a thing that they do anyway, either Thresh or not. I'm not sure about that one because I'm not too familiar with the player. But upon seeing that in their like fresh match history on League of Graphs, I was like, wow. I thought of all the reasons why you might take Ghost, and I agreed with them logically and started using it myself in a few games. And it's gone really well, avoiding many ganks that I would otherwise not avoid, because Thresh is not mobile enough, he doesn't have enough move speed to avoid these ganks. Ghost is going to provide you more move speed over time than a Flash is going to. That might sound obvious, but, you know, remember just how unpopular Ghost is compared to Flash when we make these kind of arguments. And then also it allows you to chase, also, you know, Thresh's move speed is terrible. He is bad at chasing, unless you land hooks. And just using Predator, for example, I already know that just running up to someone, or Chemtank, running up to someone in order to get a flay is a very nice guaranteed kind of catch or initiation compared to throwing a hook, which is risky. It can be countered, can be dodged. For some reason, a lot of the kind of Giga Chad, or assumed self-proclaimed Giga Chad Thresh players that comment on my videos sometimes are like, wow, why didn't you hook that? And I think that just has a total disregard for the enemy's inputs as well, which I think is very close-minded. You can argue low elo, but I still don't like saying, oh, in low elo everyone's a fucking idiot. You're still gonna get, you know, that's a topic for another video as well. We can, if you've heard of the whole, I think it was LS. Was it Nice? I think it was LS. Who like lost lane in bronze. A lot of people flipped their shit over it. Was it Nice? I think it was Nice, actually. I don't remember. Oh well. But yeah, that became a topic of debate. And actually, someone's response to that, not the coach in question, but another one, actually helps me change my mindset about the game recently. And I've been enjoying it much more ever since, and the durability update on top of that definitely helps. Again, more topics for more days. Go ahead. I think we have to go to Upper Rua Makid, that's how I've always said this. Fuck if it's wrong, and then we'll go ahead and finish these tasks and do some final farming, and then maybe I'll do some more off recording. We're 13 minutes in already. I don't know how fun it is to watch someone grind in PSO2, but it's a just chatting video. I was going to say stream. So back to Addy and Thresh Top. The reason I said that there was some surface level misconceptions as well. When I was first linked to it about 3-4 days ago maybe, their League of Graphs listed them having 14 games with Thresh, and none of them were in their recent match history. In fact, their last game, I think, I just checked before recording this, was 8 days ago. Their last game was 8 days ago. It was a loss against a Poppy top, where they, interestingly, still built with Tend. I don't doubt the choices, I just want to look into them myself, in terms of cost analysis. But, they finished these 14 games with a concert. They finished with about a 44% win rate or so on Thresh Top. However, when I first checked, they were Challenger. If you check now, and I checked the day after I was told, they fell to Grandmaster. But they were not playing Thresh Top. They are still only at 14 games of Thresh Top. So anyone that thinks, oh, actually, Thresh Top lost them games and made them D-rank. I mean, maybe it was part of it, but it wasn't the direct cause, let's say. Even when we're not on about me, I'm still gonna, you know, defend Thresh top, I guess. Can we do level 30? These guys? Oh, I've got the daily tasks anyway. We can switch off Hunter. This is how I level. We get the... There's like, you complete 5 daily tasks. You get like tons of experience. So I go to an off class like this one. I'm just leveling. Then I switch back to my main. I don't know why I'm leveling this class, but maybe I'll play them one day. Hold on. OBS is telling me things. Apparently we've had skipped frames. I guess you guys have seen. Luckily this is just a just chatting kind of video, so it's not that bad. I can see the frame drops that we've got on screen, but it might be even worse in recording. Excuse me, I'm gonna close Opera. Damn, I didn't realize my PC was struggling this hard. Right, let's change class and get down to lower levels. I think I'll have to stream this game in 30 FPS. Luckily we're finding that out now instead of later, so that's good. Let's go Force. Force Fighter. I guess we could talk about this game itself. Let's do this first. I'm just kind of playing this whilst we whilst I drink a coffee, that's so I can get ready to actually stream later. But yeah. So I don't think Thresh top directly causes them to fall to Grandmaster, and regardless, Grandmaster is pretty goddamn good, mind you. Good is such a subjective term in League, like... In most things, you'd say that being above average is 50%, you know, being in the top 50% is technically above average, and therefore by definition good, but we make an exception for League for some reason. We say all silvers are garbage. Interesting. Alright, there's not many full rooms. Let's go to this one. We like to just get a full room, so lots of people are just killing mobs, and then we get these challenges very quickly, and we can go back to whatever we were doing, or just continue farming. In my case, I would probably want to get my tasks done to get those Kavaris tickets, because new expansion is coming to this game very soon. Literally in days, and I haven't done my S-rank Geolabs yet. And I'm really running out of time, and I still need to unlock, like, many of the kind of challenges that give you more points. Hell, maybe we'll do another video of this. But we've just kind of, you know, this Addy thing has hijacked this, this stream. Hold on, we got a lightning proc. There we go. Try and elemental down this guy. It might already be. It's hard to tell that the effects on him. Using my sync room right now. Okay, right. So there were some other things about Addy. Not necessarily about Addy themselves, but what people are probably going to think about Thresh top in general. Some people may see it as, oh wow, this challenger guy picked Thresh top, therefore if you're going to play Thresh top, you should build like them. You should build a lethal tempo with them first. I can imagine people saying that if they're in the know. Other people are going to say, oh god, Thresh top lost this guy challenger, it's clearly terrible, there's a reason they don't play it anymore. Something like that. Though I'm just going to continue what I've always been doing, which is absolutely not giving a shit what other people do, even if it's the same build I do, the same role, the same stuff like that. I'll take some inspirations, like I'm running Ghost now, and I'm experimenting with lethal tempo again. I think because we've been in such a snowbally meta with like 15-20 minute games for so long now, Season 11 to Season 12, I haven't even considered scaling, but we are getting into a more scaling viable meta, which is why I started playing Kassadin again. However, I didn't expand that too much to Thresh. I was still building my basically full tank build because I just hated getting one-shots. It was a durability update with the extra health that Thresh gets. I think we're okay. I think we're okay to play like lethal tempo sometimes. And like I said, I've been winning lane with lethal tempo, which is not what I associate with the rune, but it is actually pretty good when the enemy cannot attack back. So it could be like Grasp or Fleet could be used in more defensive roles, or against poke champions like Gangplank, where you need to hit them back to sustain. Grasp is really good against Gangplank for that. Fleet would also be good in a more defensive role. Although perhaps slightly less effective unless you're building AD. I was about to call that thing a Morbius. Oh my god.
Trial start.
We live in a society, don't we? Right, so... I think I was just on about lethal tempo, right? It's good. I think Grasp still has the better laning phase. I need to play more, that's so I can find out, you know, how bad lethal tempo is in a disadvantageous matchup, such as Irelia, such as Darius. You know, the people that don't just walk away from you scared. And also against players that hopefully aren't an Iron 1 Shen. I feel bad for him. Oh man. This is the matchmaking's fault, it wasn't me. And we actually, I think that game, my replays are still messed up by the way. I still can't download replays. Or see my match history. But that game, our bot lane lost pretty hard, so... The game would have probably been quite different if the Shen didn't go AFK or wasn't Iron 1. But, you know, I was pretty strong. I've also been using lethal tempo but leveraging it a bit harder in a more kind of AD, even AD carry focus role. I think I built Infinity Edge one game. Doing the whole shield bow drain tank Thresh with lethal tempo, I think worked really well. Okay, we need to kill dolls if we haven't already. I don't know, we got our dailies. That's cool. And we need altars and formers. We're going to find those in the other farm spots. Just to finish these Leah May tasks. And it will reset on Wednesday, so I want to hopefully maybe just squeeze out the XP from that. I don't actually need to do this at all, but it will get me seasonal points. And the seasonal event will end on Wednesday, so so we might as well keep going. Yeah, quite a fan of the whole shield bow lethal tempo, because even with just shield, oh my god, the lag. Even with just shield bow, you feel really tanky. So when you build actual tank, you are incredibly tanky, and I still recommend Titanic Hydra first. I am not convinced yet that Wit's End is better. In matchups where I don't need extra health, I found that Wit's End has done excellently. And if you're winning, it's even better, because that attack speed, that AD, it's all coming together, it's wonderful. But let's say you're fighting someone who can punish you hard, or, you know, jungler knows top lane exists, Titanic Hydra can give you much more breathing room, survivability, surviving under your own tower. Here's something I didn't like. Someone linked me another video, not by Chime Noises, about the whole Addy Thresh top thing. And I don't like the way they presented it. It was very... Because no one, I think, has actually talked to Addy, I imagine, because I don't think most of these guys can speak Korean. I can't. So I can't speak to Addy either. But, I feel that people are just arriving at their own kind of conclusions based off of Addy's gameplay. And therefore, whatever they can choose to present whatever they... Okay, that guy is dead. I think. That happens sometimes. When the server's lagging. Yeah, so like, stressing an importance on pulling people into tower, I don't think that's necessary. People used to give me shit because I only got kills on people in the tower in the clips, because I used to do, like, you know, montages, I guess. Guides with montage backgrounds. I think, you know, he's more than capable of playing on his own in 1v1s. Thresh is, depending on the matchup. I think, as well, if I put my opinions on the matter, it sounds like I'm actually a silver idiot, and I guess I am, by definition, who has no idea what they're talking about. Because if you ask me when is Thresh good, you know, early, mid, or late game, and I would say Thresh is good early, mid, and late game, with a dead-ass, serious face. Because that's genuinely what I believe. Though it is build-dependent. Each stat does boost a different stage of the game. AD boosts early to mid, tank boosts, well, all game, mostly late, of course, and attack speed boosts late game with souls, and of course souls boost late game. The reason for that is that AD is really good early game because it's just, sure, it's good for laning phase, it's good for poke, and it gets even better as your E becomes level 5 with a 200% AD ratio. And that is an incredibly high ratio for magic damage to scale off of AD to provide incredible mixed damage in the mid game, which is why it's so good. If Rapid Fire Cannon had AD like Wits End did, believe me, I would be building that so often. Because it would snowball the mid game so well. The mid game, the reason it's good in mid game and not late game specifically is because in the mid game is when no one has gold to afford hybrid resistances. They don't have armor and magic resist unless they've built a Sunfire. And that's why it can be really good at bursting those kind of assassins, bruisers, AD carries. Does a ton of damage. If you buy Wits End as well, it becomes like a... Not Wits End, sorry. What am I on about? wait. Let me retrace my thoughts. It was... I'm so glad this is not stream yet. Oh man, I've forgotten. Something about mid game, something about late game. Resistances, hybrid resistances. It's good. And it's even better if you build... I have no idea where that was going. Because I can't logically think of anything that you build for the mid game. The point is, it's the hybrid resistances aren't built yet, and therefore one of your damage types is going through, if not both, and it will burst a lot. You can mix the damage even further with things like Storm Razor, which is the highest single attack item in the game. That doesn't make it good for AD Thresh. I mean, it is good, but oftentimes you do need things, especially in solo queue, like Executioner's Calling or Dominix, depending if you're playing AD carry or not. You can also build Dead Man's Plate for a similar result. It's pretty fun, and that keeps you a bit tankier. I liked that with Gale Force, but maybe I could try it with Stridebreaker instead. Heck, maybe we can even experiment with AP and go for Proto Belt, for God's sake. AP Thresh actually has some decent results, and Proto Belt's Magic Pen stat is not bad. We need to kill these. No, I'm not. Failed. We'll get them next time. I think after this little trial here, we'll go to the seasonal point store. Probably do need to get a few more points. Yeah, and oh, of course, Souls and attack speed is good in the late game because that's just Omega high DPS. At no real cost. If you go full tank with a lethal tempo and like 200 souls somehow in like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, you are going to do a ton of a... I'm not going to accept the party invite because I'm going to be gone after it. I didn't expect us to be in a PC burster. Maybe I should have accepted. My bad. I'll accept it, yeah. That extra drop rate boost. What are we on about? Just every single video, every stream. What were we on about? Hello, we were talking about something 5 seconds ago and I've forgotten already. Relatable, perhaps? Oh, that's a Photon Blast. Oops. Well, that guy is definitely dead. Except they're not. Well, okay. Yeah, Thresh is good early, mid, and late game. There are definitely some tough counter picks. So if Thresh top became very popular, you could expect more people to pick things like Mundo into set, and then it's not fun. I can't wait to do my own perspective on this whole situation. I'm sure I'll get plenty of ridicule for being a silver player, but fuck off. You can't beat me in Crazy Sexy, then your opinion isn't valid. Yeah, we're talking critically. We're talking using stats, facts, and logic. Things like ELO don't even come into the matter. What you choose to view as important, that's where your ELO and your stats and your skill and your mastery come in to play. Maybe you don't have value in the late game because your elo or your server or the meta is simply too fast. For example, I didn't care about taking equal tempo because why would I care about such a scaling rune when late game never happens in most games? That's something I would think. Oops, there we go. Bit of a force super there. Let's help get an elemental down as well. 10 seconds with the Obscura Rod to get a Dark proc. And we'll switch back to the Synchrium. I lost count of the seconds. I never do, I just, I think I saw it there. I'll do one more. There we go. And it died. Nice. Great. There's a concert going on as well. Oh, I did not mean to do the do that. I'm gonna leave the party as well. 30 minutes, damn. Time flies when you're grinding, I guess. It's been a bit of a just talking stream. But yeah, I'd like to get my perspective out. Completely unadulterated concept, by the way. Leap. I really need to set up some shortcuts. So the shop is just over there. Arc supply support there. Concert going on. But yeah. Expect some analysis, theory crafting. We're also going to be using the Addy runes for some stuff. For example, for the Immortal Shieldo build. I mean, I've done that before. It's not like it's anything new to me, but it's nice to know that someone else out there built it. It is like a validation thing. As opposed to the other guy that played Thresh top and just hated my guts for some reason, and, you know, we could have been friends. Could have been friends. Why is this back? I've bought one of these already. Oh, apparently I've used it twice because I accidentally bought this twice. Wow, okay. Thanks, Sega. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in stream, perhaps. This is going to be uploaded in about an hour, depending on how rendering and things go. I'm not really editing this, so I don't know why I'm going to bother doing that. I could probably use the YouTube editor. Maybe we'll try that with this one, and then if it sucks, we can blame YouTube. Yeah, let's go. Alright, hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.